How's it going, everybody? It's your boy, Homie G, and I'm back. Guess what today's video is all about? That's right, bicycle safety. Okay, that's nice and snug. Very snug helmet. Let's see what else we got going on here. I got my front light flashing, and I got my rear light flashing. Pretty good. I think I'm ready to start. All right, I'm back. That was a nice little ride, my little homies. Beautiful weather, but there was a lot of traffic at the beach. I saw some signs put up by the police. No tolerance signs because it's getting close to 4th of July. There were a lot of cars there scoping out the best parts to set up for July 4th. And yeah, I got back. It was no close calls today, which is a good thing. So I just slowed down a lot due to cars stopping and just maneuvered my way through nice and easy. Beautiful ride. Now let's go inside and talk some more safety tips. All right, so I'm back inside my garage, and I wanted to show you some of the safety inspections I do even before I leave the house. First, I check my braking. So this is the front wheel lever, brake lever, and let's see if it's the brake pads are making good contact with my wheel. Oh yeah, that's good. That's solid right there. Great contact. I like it. Okay, so it's working properly. Then I check my rear. Same thing, good solid contact. Rear wheel is working. Then I spin my wheel, make sure it's true. What does that mean? That means it's rolling true, no wobble. Okay, if you're seeing wobble, you're gonna see the tire hit the side brake pads here if there's any kind of wobble and get stuck. And that means you have a bad spoke or several bad spokes. I check my spokes, make sure they're nice and tight. Once a week on Sunday when I'm deep cleaning my bike, I check the spokes, make sure there isn't any kind of looseness to them, that they look intact. And so I give my tire a good spin and it's rolling true. What else do I do? Of course, you can check your frame for any kind of cracks. You don't want cracks on the frame. What else can you do? Let's see, check the, tire pressure. So tire pressure is one thing I check too. I like to inflate my tires to 100 PSI. Oh, I almost fell there. But as you can see, a road bike tire can go up to 120 PSI, which is high. Never inflate your tire to the maximum amount, my little homies. Why? Well, blowouts, of course. On a hot day, atmospheric pressure is high, and if you are at your max, you're gonna have a blowout. So, you could keep them at least 10 PSI under the max. That should be sufficient. I also check for debris on the tires. This is my indicator, tells me that I still have plenty of tread on the tire, but you can check for debris. Now, if you come across a little shard of metal that's stuck in there, I've had staples stuck in there, or a thorn stuck in there, and you haven't lost tire pressure, that means that debris is keeping the air from coming out. And as soon as you remove it, guess what? You're gonna have a flat. So check for debris on the tire before you go out. The last thing you want is to have to change your tube while you're riding. All right, my little homies, let's go back inside. All right, my little homies, let's talk a little bit about my history riding bicycles. So I've been riding bicycles consistently since 2007. You can say that I've probably logged 50,000 plus, maybe even more, miles on my bike. Right now I'm doing about 100 to 110 miles a week. So a year, that's 5,200 easily. And so I have a lot of experience riding bikes. And I've learned a lot of things along the way since I started cycling. I've had a lot of close calls, my little homies, where I was almost hit by several cars, where I almost hit one time a mail truck that was turning. That was my fault, completely my fault. What else? I've fallen off my bike at least 3 times. And luckily, during the times I was on my bike, when I fell, I was not actually going too fast. One of the times I was just kind of waiting at a light and I lost my balance because I was clipped in and I fell to my right, I believe, and I got unclipped as I hit the pavement. Another time I started to roll. Maybe I was going 1 or 2 miles an hour and I clipped the back wheel of another rider in front of me. Luckily, I just took myself down and not the other rider, and got up again off the concrete. But both of those times, I can tell you, I was in pain. Yes, even just falling, going 0 miles an hour, 1 to 2 miles an hour is going to leave a bruise. You're going to have some pain for at least a week or two, and it's no joke. So now let's talk about e-bikes and what I see out there. Some of you, my little homies, doing. Yes, just yesterday, I was in my car. I was driving around Oceanside here, and one of the little homies that I had last year, I don't want to give up his name, riding an e-bike. I saw him make a left turn on a very busy road, was not wearing a helmet. So I'm making this video for you, my little homies. My primary goal is to beg you to do one thing. Please wear a helmet. It's not only the law, it's going to save potentially your life in an accident. Now, there are people, cyclists in North County, San Diego, that have gotten hit and killed despite wearing a helmet. But you have a better chance of not suffering severe head trauma when you wear a helmet, okay? Helmets are designed to lessen, obviously, the force at impact of your head slamming onto the concrete. And they are pretty well designed these days to do just that. Now, when we're talking about safety out there on the road, as you know, the faster you go, the faster you're going, my little homies, the more energy you're going to have, namely kinetic energy. So that is equal to 1/2 of your mass times the square of your velocity. Okay? Let's talk about this for a second. You might think your e-bike going 10 miles an hour, hey, that's slow. Let me crank it up to 20 miles an hour. I've just doubled my velocity. Now, normally when we factor kinetic energy, this has to be in meters per second. That's the unit that it has to be in. But for simplicity, let's just stick to miles an hour. So you go from 10 to 20 miles an hour. You think, oh, I just doubled my speed, right? 2 times. 10 times 2, 20. Is that how your kinetic energy that you're carrying on that bike, is that how it's affected? No. Okay? It's square of the velocity. So by squaring 10 here, we get 100. Okay? Now we square 20, we get 400. So you effectively 4 times your kinetic energy just by going from 10 miles an hour on your e-bike to 20 miles an hour. You're carrying a lot more kinetic energy, and it has to go somewhere when you are riding. It could be dissipated by you braking, so some of that's going to get converted into thermal energy, right? And you slow down that way, and it's converted to thermal energy most of the time, most of your rides. But in unfortunate situations where cyclists are injured, hurt, or even killed, that energy transfers to the human body, to you, my little homies. So if you impact something that's not going to be moving, a wall, a tree, you're going to lose. You're going to lose, okay? Because the impulse force is going to be substantially high when you're hitting something that's not going to give too much. It's going to make your time of decelerating, it's going to be very minuscule, very tiny, which ramps up the force. Okay, that's called impulse. and that's no good. You're gonna lose. Same thing with cars. Cars carry a whole lot more mass than you do. Even though you might be going 20 miles an hour and the car is going 10 miles an hour, 2,000 pounds to your scrawny 150 pounds, whatever you weigh. Okay? So you're gonna lose. Cars are undefeated, okay, when it comes to cycling. So is the concrete and the pavement. And sadly, we have a lot of little homies losing their lives riding e-bikes because, one, they're going fast. Two, they're not following the rules of the road. Okay, you want to make a turn. I don't see the little homies doing the correct signage with your arms. Okay, right turn. This lets the driver behind you know you're going to make a right turn. If you do this, oh, I'm going to go to the right. They're driving on the left side of their car. They're not going to see you make the right turn like this with your arm. Okay, so, and they know this because they go to the DMV and they take their test, and this is a right turn. Left turn, okay? So make your signs. I let the cars in front of me, if I'm gonna cross an intersection and they're gonna make a left turn, I wave at them so they see me. Now you saw that I have a light flashing. Hopefully that gets their attention, but sometimes it's not enough. I've almost gotten hit with cars coming out in front of me, okay? I've almost gotten wedged in by cars making a right who didn't see me do this. And I've had to stop on the fly. Always anticipate that the car driver is not going to see you. Always. That's the rule of thumb. When you're out there, assume people are idiots. Assume drivers aren't going to see you, and drive your bike or steer your bike defensively. There are so many decisions that have to be made when you're riding a bike. Okay? Should I give space to the car there, or should I? Is there someone going to open the door on me and door me? Right? How should I best make this left turn? Those are the hardest ones to make. If you're having to cross intersections, I've seen the little homies just hit it, pump the whatever it is on your e-bike to go faster, and they're crossing from the bike lane here, the lanes here, to go to the left turn over here to go that way, and the cars are coming up and they're just booking it left turn like that, and sometimes they don't even look left. Okay, that's not good. So make sure you think about your routes. Are you gonna be making some left turns? How will you approach those left turns? Because those are the most dangerous ones where you have to cross traffic. I try to plan rides that make right turns mostly, just so that if I do any loops, I try to stay right because they're a little safer to make right turns than left turns. I try to watch my speed coming downhill. Very important, again, because of the kinetic energy. And also remember, you have potential energy. Your center of mass, you're about a good meter. There's you, right? And you're a good meter off the ground. So you have both potential and kinetic energy. Mostly kinetic. The faster you go, of course, the more you ramp up that energy that has to dissipate, has to be converted to something else when you're riding. Of course, most of the time you make it home safely, and that's because you hit your brakes and it got converted to thermal energy. But I thought it was an important thing to make a video today and to supplicate, which means to beg you, my little homies, please put on a helmet. Okay, your brain is in your head. You need your brain. It's the most important organ, one of the most important organs. Okay, if you're listening to music like I was today, don't put this so loud that you can't hear the cars behind you honking or whatever, or people screaming at you for some reason or another. Put it low enough so you could still hear what's happening outside. Gloves, very important. Why? You might fall. You might fall, right? And what are you going to put out first? Your hand. So you're going to have a whole bunch of abrasions and cuts if you don't have a glove. Wear shades. Now, they're not just for looking good. They're to protect your eyes. Okay? To protect your eyes from what? Debris. You might be going by a road or a residential road, and there's a gardener blowing dirt and dust all over the place. So that's going to get in your eyes. Okay? So wear the shades for that. I got stung once in the bee right here, right in here. on my forehead, right above my eyes. I was very lucky. Okay, I've gotten stung so many times. So protect your eyes. And what else do I have to say, my little homies? Okay, study the law, which is always use your signs, wear your helmet because it's the law, and slow down, okay? Your whole life is before you. I don't want to hear any more news stories about you all having tragic accidents, making your parents very upset and losing you, obviously. So please, my little homies, I beg you, put on a helmet and slow down. And I'm out. Deuces.